relationships are not built on Zoom. You will never build a leader on Zoom. Leaders are built in person. Leaders are built in your living room. They're built over dinner. They're built over sitting on the beach. The leaders are built spending quality time. When it's not about business, it's just about being present. That's when leaders get built. We are so much worse when we started this business than you think we were. And so whatever you're going through right now, I just want you to know that you're normal. Like if you are just not doing well, welcome. That was all of us when we started in business. The good news is there's light at the end of the tunnel. And so what I want to do is I'm going to give you guys some infrastructure when it comes to building a machine. First thing is recruiting. If we want to build a machine, we need to have a system for recruiting. Building a machine where it is systematic when it comes to recruiting. How systematic is your recruiting process? I want you to write this down. If I can't replicate it, I can't duplicate it. If I can't replicate where I got the client, I can't duplicate it into my team. If I can't replicate where I got the agent, I can't duplicate it into my team. And so we need to have a systematic process for recruiting and finding talent. Amazon recruits 4,000 a day. Question, how come Amazon recruits 4,000 a day and people don't think it's weird? But then when it comes to your business, you're like, no. That's weird. To who? It's weird to somebody that doesn't understand business. But anybody with any level of business acumen understands that recruiting is the lifeline and the growth of every organization. A company that is not recruiting is a company that's going to die. Let's look at Amazon for a second, okay? You look at Amazon. What if Amazon was like, you know what? We're not going to recruit any more delivery drivers. We're not going to open up any more warehouses. Like, we're done. We're not going to add any more. We're just going to try to sustain what we currently have. How many Amazon drivers do you think are quitting their job and going and doing something else all the time? All the time. So they are recruiting to replace all the time. Would you still use Amazon if your packages started coming in 2 weeks later? No, you wouldn't. Okay? You use Amazon because of the effectiveness. You order a package. Now it's like, you want it tonight by 4 p.m.? What? You kidding me? It's like they just have it waiting above my house to drop it. Airplane delivery, you know? Like it is insane how fast they deliver packages. Why is that though? Their distribution. If they don't have warehouses, warehouses everywhere with product, if they don't have delivery drivers everywhere to get that product into the consumer's hand, the company goes out of business. Are you catching this right now? Okay? So there's thoughts that we need to have. Number one, it's how many delivery drivers can we add to our business? Licensed agents. How many warehouses can we open up? EMDs, agency owners. The more EMDs and agency owners we have, the more delivery drivers that those warehouses have, the faster we can get the product from the company into the hands of the consumer. The more I get the product in the hands of the consumer, the more revenue comes in. Revenue leads to profits. A business without profits is a business that goes out of business. Can you stay in business without profitability? Nope. Absolutely not. Well, in order to scale a business, we got to make sure that we are constantly looking for new talent. You guys heard Jack Maroney earlier? You guys remember Jack did sales this morning? You know Jack was my server at True Foods? I know. And then he gave that wonder of a sales training this morning. You know Megan that trained earlier was my manager at Jamba Juice? Kid you not. Crossed $500,000 in income this month. Crazy. She went from making smoothies to making moolah, you know? It's pretty impressive. Like, so what are we doing? We're in the business of finding talent and teaching talent to go on to become successful. Well, how do we do that? System. What is the point of our system? To take somebody from dependent to independent. Independent means they can sell all on their own. Can we take somebody from dependent, they don't know what they're doing, they're not licensed, to independent, they now know what they're doing, they're able to help a client, and they have a license. System. Okay? I want you guys to repeat after me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. You got a smile. That's good enough. Sorry, I had to do it. I don't know why that song came to my mind at the moment. That was not rehearsed at all, right? So I want you to write this down. A system should be a rhythmic. A system should be a rhythmic. I remember the first car that I ever bought, me and my dad were driving and I saw a 1993 Ford Exploder on the side of the road. We bought it for $300 with a blown head gasket. And me and my dad rebuilt the entire top end for $600. I had my first car, $900 all in. I had a 12-inch subwoofer in the back. Yeah. And we would drive, my license plate, windows would be rolling down without me doing it as we're driving. I would get to the location, and because the window machines didn't work, I was going like this. You know what I'm talking? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay, and I would open the door and I would get there and I would go like this to get the window back to like a Mr. Miyagi move to get it back. And the problem is I would come back and there'd be 3 inches down. I'm like, oh, hopefully it doesn't rain every time. And so I remember me and my dad were rebuilding the top end, and we turned it on, and my dad looks at me and goes, hey, listen, do you hear it? I go, hear what? He goes, the engine is hunting. It's hunting. He said, if you listen to the engine, it'll tell you if something's wrong. He said, listen to it. I said, all right. He taught me to listen to the engine, and if you listen to the engine, it'll tell you something's wrong. When you look at your business, when you look at your calendar, when you look at the way you run your day, is it a rhythmic? Or is it all over the place? Your business should feel arrhythmic. And if it doesn't feel arrhythmic, there's a hole in your system. If it doesn't feel arrhythmic, there's a hole in your calendar. If it doesn't feel arrhythmic, there's a problem. You got to listen to your business and it will tell you if something's wrong. Are you guys catching this right now? The point of a system should take somebody from dependent to independent. Then there's sales. We got to teach people to sell. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but we're in sales, okay? And I know people like to package it up like, we're not in sales. No, I wasn't ready. Like, we're in the business of helping people, right? And I just want to help. No, I'm an educator. Here's the deal. We are in the business of helping people, and I don't want you to ever forget that. But when people take on, I'm in education, I'm not in sales. Is education a part of sales? Yes, absolutely. Here's the problem. My whole family's in education, and all of them struggle financially. Not bad people, greatest people on the planet. I have nothing negative to say about them as human beings, but they struggle financially because they're in the education business. Guys, yes, we educate, but you got to realize that you're in sales. And it's very, very important for you to come to that realization. You have to know you're in sales. We sell people on showing up to an interview. We then sell people on showing up to the onboarding one. Then we sell people on investing money into a license. And then we sell people on buying our products. And then we sell people on not quitting. And then we sell people on becoming a better person. And we sell that people on believing in themselves. Like, we are selling every single day, every single month. We are in sales. So without sales, there's no profitability. Without profitability, you are out of business. We'll talk about sales here more in just a second. But we got to understand there needs to be a process for increasing sales. There needs to be a process for helping our people get better at selling. The problem is you can't pour from an empty cup and you can't give what you do not got. You have to make sure that you learn the skill so you can teach other people the skill and the art of sales. Does this make sense? Okay? You know, Eli put it perfectly, like, sales is getting somebody to do what they would do if they knew what you knew. That's what sales is. Like, if you knew everything I knew about the product, you would get exactly what I'm offering you. Like, I trust my own morals. I trust my own values. One of the reasons that I decided to get good at sales is because I trust my own integrity. I don't trust everyone else's. And so if anybody's going to sit down with you, it's going to be me. If anybody's going to get you to buy, it's going to be me. Why? Because I know if you are a client of me, you're taken care of. I can't say that about everyone else in the industry. I trust my own integrity. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get so good, because this is what a lot of us do. We're incredible educators, but we're horrible at sales. And so you go and educate people and say, this sounds great. And then they go buy from somebody else who's good at sales. You're great at marketing for everyone else. You have to learn the art of sales. Can we help you get better at your craft? Are you guys catching this? Okay? Picking up what I'm putting down, hearing what I'm saying, tasting what I'm cooking, reading what I'm writing. We got to get better. Can we get better at this? Number 4, development. Leadership development. Leadership development creates multiplication in your business. What do I mean by this? Okay? All of a sudden, I help Brett become a leader. So I train Brett to sell. I help him move into leadership. He's responsible for 10 people. I help Nate do the same thing. I help Chris do the same thing. Let's say I do that 10 times. You don't set out to lead 100. You set out to lead 10 that lead 10. It's multiplication. People say, Matt, you guys have so many people in your organization. How do you lead everyone? I'm like, I don't. There's no way I can. We focus on what? Leadership development, which allows us to what? Multiply our impact. Yeah. That's the beauty of it. We're in the leadership development business. Everything in the world rises and falls on leadership. So your ability to help people develop into a leader is going to create multiplication in your business. We catching this right now? Okay? We got to teach people to run their own business. And then number 5 is culture, which is the glue. Culture is the glue. It's what glues everything together. And this is something that I would like to think that we're pretty good at as an organization. But the question is how good are you at it when it comes to your organization? Because collectively, we're great. But that doesn't mean you're great. And I wish it did, but it's just the reality of it. Are your people sticking? Are your people sticking? Are your people sticking and staying and never going away? Like, are they here, locked in? Like, because of what you stand for. And this is what I've realized about culture. I remember years ago, Eric, he was like, hey, Matt, can you do an entire training on culture? And I was like, yeah. And I sat down for hours and I couldn't put together anything. And I was trying to figure out why I couldn't put together anything. And then I realized that your culture is just an outward expression of your inner thoughts. I think, I speak. Those who agree with what I say, stay, and those that disagree, leave. That's it. So if I think better thoughts and I speak better words, I attract better people because they believe and are in alignment with what I'm saying. You guys catching this right now? Okay? So you have to look at yourself and say, okay, my culture is a reflection of me. If people are not sticking, it's because of me. And it's a tough pill to swallow. To be able to look at yourself, like I remember I was recruiting to replace for so long. And one day I just looked myself in the mirror and I said, oh my gosh, I'm the problem. Morgan Wallen wrote an entire song about it. I'm the problem. Like, they're not staying because of me. I got to get better. This is why people weren't staying. There's the 5 levels of leadership. Level 1 is what? Position. People follow you because they have to. Level 2 is relationship. People follow you because of the relationship, they like you. Level 3 is results. People follow you because of the results that you are getting. They want to get those results. Level 4 is people development. People follow you because of the difference you've made in their life on a personal level. And level 5 is pinnacle. They just respect you all around. Those are the 5 levels of leadership. And I got stuck on level 3. And the reason I got stuck on level 3 is not because I didn't care, but because the way that I showed that I cared was not a good way to show it, okay? I was struggling with culture because I was helping people win, but we weren't fostering a bond. And it wasn't because I wasn't trying to create it. I just didn't know. I didn't know how to show, I didn't know how. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to invest in relationships and spending time and retreats. And we're going to do bonfires. And I remember, anybody ever play the game Catchphrase? Yes. That was like, I built my base shop with Catchphrase. Yeah. Every Friday night, I had all my base shop over. We would play Catchphrase for hours. And that's how we built our culture, was Catchphrase in my living room. People were like, in your living room, how big was it? 400 square feet. I could cook eggs from the shower. And that's how we built this thing. That's how we got off the ground. I couldn't afford to provide food, so we would do potlucks strategically. Hey, you bring the hot dogs, you bring the soda, you bring the, and everybody would contribute. And I'm like, I would just show up because I was broke. I'm just kidding, no. I brought the water. People were well hydrated, right? And we couldn't afford it, but we invested in spending time with our people. You guys with me on this? Relationships are not built on Zoom. You will never build a leader on Zoom. Leaders are built in person. Leaders are built in your living room. They're built over dinner. They're built over sitting on the beach. The leaders are built spending quality time. When it's not about business, it's just about being present. That's when leaders get built. Where all of us are trying to microwave leadership. We're trying to microwave people. That's not how business works. You can't microwave people development. You can't microwave a relationship. It takes time. It takes energy. Oh, I want you to write this down. The greatest investment you will ever make is back in your people. Back into your people. CFO called the CEO, said, what if we invest in our people and they quit? And the CEO responded, what if we don't and they stay?